Hey Third Eye Tribe, and welcome back to Third Eye Tarot. So in today's video, we'll be exploring another one of the minor arcana cards in the deck of the tarot, and we'll be speaking a little bit about the Queen of Swords. So the minor arcana cards in the tarot card reading are known to emphasize the daily events, behaviors, and choices made by an individual in their day-to-day lives. The cards are divided into 4 suits, and each suit contains 14 cards. So today we'll be talking about the 13th card in the suit of swords of the tarot, and that is known as the Queen of Swords. So when the Queen of Swords card appears during a tarot card reading, she denotes an intelligent woman over the age of 35 years old. She is very cold but very professional and very smart. She can be very sarcastic and witty at the same time, bitter, and she may be hurt by some broken relationship from the past while she maintains a stony facade about it. She is very independent, honest, and shrewd, but also quite empathetic and supportive at the same time. So in the Rider-Waite-Smith tarot deck, the Queen of Swords card shows a queen sitting on an ornate throne looking off into the distance. She is wearing a white gown which symbolizes to us her deep purity, with red tassels on her sleeves which symbolizes her great passion for life. Her head here is positioned way above the clouds, and the clouds here depict the mental challenges which she seems to have risen above. In her one hand she holds a double-edged sword pointing towards the sky, symbolizing again her deep clarity. Her other hand is extended out, offering support and advice to those who seek it. The throne has images of a winged child, which symbolizes blessings, a pair of the moon, which symbolizes intuition, and butterflies, which symbolize transformation. So if this card is pulled in the upright position for a love-related reading, it can indicate a time in your life in which you don't want to rush into any new romances or love relationships, and you want to approach them from a more logical aspect. It symbolizes a time in which you'll look for an intellectual partner with whom you'll feel very like-minded and secure with. For those who are currently in a committed relationship, when this card appears here in its upright position, it signals a time in which you'll be fiercely loyal and give huge support to your current partner. If this card is pulled in the upright position for a career-related reading, it can represent a very strong woman in the workplace. This might be a colleague or a boss that is very intelligent and has a very powerful mind of her own. She doesn't encourage risk-taking and prefers to plan things out very carefully and tactfully. However, on the more negative front, she avoids being challenged, she can be very stubborn, and is never open to the new ideas of others. She also lacks spontaneity and can go into the nitty-gritty of every detail before she decides to take any action. And so when she does appear here, she also can remind you to become more focused and organized in your workplace, to not allow your mind to play any games with you, and to make sure you plan things very well before you go ahead with the execution stage to avoid any further discontentment in your workplace. If this card is pulled in the upright position for a health-related reading, it can indicate a time in which you'll be experiencing much pain in your lower back, or issues with your ovaries, or even some skin disorders. For those who are over the age of 35 years old and who have a very strong female in their lives, it can represent a time in her life in which repressed emotions from her past are being released, and she finally has the guidance to move on and to cope with all the difficulties that life may be throwing her way. So now I want to talk a little bit more about this Queen of Swords card in the reverse position during a tarot card reading. So when this card appears in its reverse position during a reading, it can indicate a time in your life in which you might be thinking more with your heart than with your head. It can symbolize a time in which you're being emotionally involved in various situations, and you may be lacking the mental clarity, or your perceptions may be very distorted at this time. When reversed, the Queen of Swords card resembles a Libra female who would behave very erratically as she gets very unbalanced in this reverse position. It symbols a time in which you might be struggling to manage harmony and balance in your life, and a time in which you'll be continuing in your unresolved suffering. It can indicate a time in which your feelings for your partner might be deeply clouded, and you are struggling to find harmony and balance in your current toxic relationship. You might be unable to wean off from this dependency issues and your emotional and material dependence on your partner. This card can also represent a time in your life in which you might be going through a very bitter divorce with your partner, and there might be several accusations flying around without any of them getting fact-checked. It also represents a time of deep misunderstanding and dishonesty between you and your partner. If this card is pulled in the reverse position for a career-related reading, it suggests a time in which an older woman in the workplace who plays a very important role can be acting very cold-hearted, bitter, and disrespectful towards you. She might be acting like she has no compassion or emotion for others, and she is very difficult to relate to and prefers to do business in a very narrow-minded approach. It can also represent a time in which you might be having several issues with problem-solving and communication in the workplace, so make sure you're not being too rude or coming off too harshly when you're communicating with your colleagues or bosses. If this card is pulled in the reverse position for a health-related reading, it can indicate a time of emotional disturbance or a time in which all your suppressed sadness and grief seem to be causing some severe psychological issues and manifesting as actual health issues in your life. There may be a lot of nervous tendencies or anxiety and depression as well. When reversed, this card can also point towards infertility issues or a difficulty in conceiving. And so that was all I have to say about the Queen of Swords tarot card. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you found the video very interesting and informative. Please make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share this video with some of your friends in the tarot community. I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Take care, and bye for now.